Okay, hello, this is Mrs. Robertson, and today I'm making a recording of my class for Monday, January 10th, and we are doing the bell work, which will help us to get ready for our test. We have a math test tomorrow, so we're going to do 2 equation review worksheets. Let's do the bell work one now together. In the first problem, you have to show the step. To undo adding 75, you put minus 75 minus 75. Draw your line and cancel. Bring down the equal sign. It should be underneath the equal sign in the original equation. And what do you have left? X equals 100 minus 75 is 25. Circle the answer. Now we have to do the check step. To do the check step, you replace X with the value we found to be 25. Does 25 plus 75 equal 100? Yes, it does. Okay, now let's go on to problem number 2. In number 2, it says 21 8/10 equals y minus 5 3/10. To undo subtracting 5 3/10, you're going to add 5 3/10 to both sides of the equal sign. That cancels this one out, and you end up, we are adding 1, carry a 1, 6, 7, 27 1/10 equals y. Circle your answer. Now we're going to do the check step. Does 27.1 minus 5.3 equal 21.8? 11 minus 3 is 8. Yes, it does. So the check step supports that. In problem number 3, to undo adding 1/9, we are going to subtract 1/9. Minus 1/9 minus 1/9. Draw your line and cancel. Bring down the equal sign. Y equals. Now, I have to have a common denominator in order to subtract these problems. Between a 3 and a 9, it's going to be a 9. You're going to change 2/3, 3 times 3 is 9, to 6/9. 6/9 minus 1/9 is 5/9. Now, circle your answer, and we're going to do the check step. Does 5/9 plus 1/9, that equals 6/9, and that simplifies to 2/3. Yes, it does. So the answer is correct, and we've done the check step. Number 4, to undo subtracting 43, add 43, add 43. Draw your line and cancel. Put your equal sign. A equals 114. Circle your answer. Please be quiet. We are making a video recording of this class. Anything you are doing that's inappropriate is being recorded, and I can use them in a referral. Now we are ready for our check step. Here you replace A with the value 114 minus 43. Yes, it does. It equals 71. Any questions on how to do that? Is everyone caught up? Okay, let's go on to number 5. Now you're going to have problems tomorrow on your test. Oh, the nice thing, the test will be on paper. You won't have to do it into Mastery Connect. I have to code your answers into Mastery Connect. So you don't have to worry about it for this test, okay? So, all I have to do is put how many points you got for each problem. So let's say you have a problem like number 5. This problem is going to be worth 4 points. How do you get 4 points? define a variable, write an equation, your step, and the answer. That's how you're going to get 4 points for this. So let's begin. Renee picked 56 blueberries at a farm. This is 15 more than the number of grapes she picked. Write and solve an addition equation to find the number of grapes she picked. Okay, define the variable. Kids, your variable is going to be what the question is, or what do they want you to find? They want you to find grapes she picked. So I'm going to just use G. You could use any variable, but it represents grapes. Grapes she picked. If you just put grapes, that's fine. But if you want to be more specific and say grapes she picked, that is fine also. Now, it tells us we have to write an addition equation. That means it has a plus sign. All right? So, and it's going to have an equal sign, right? Renee picked 56. That's her total amount. So it's going to equal 56. Grapes plus 15 equals 56. That is your addition equation. You could have also said 15 plus G equals 56. That would be correct. You could have said 56 equals 15 plus G, or you could also say 56 equals G plus 15. There are 4 correct equations. You only have to give me one, all right? I'm not going to give you all the correct ones to write on the others, but I just want you to know there's more than one way to write an addition equation. Now we're going to solve it. What will undo adding 15, class? Subtract 15, subtract 15. You have to show it on both sides of the equal sign. Draw your line and cancel. Bring down your equal sign. Your variable is G. What does G equal? Well, 6 minus 5 is 1. The answer is 41. Now, it doesn't say a check step here. I don't know if it has you do the check step on the test, but if it had room for a check step, you would just say, does 41 plus 15 equal 56? Yes, it does. Now, this one does not show for a check step, so you didn't have to. But if it does say, if it says it on the test, you have to do it for a point. Yes? Yes. Now, let's go on to problem number 6. Rita noticed that she had read 35 pages of her book. 93 pages were still unread. Write and solve a subtraction equation to find the total number of pages. Okay, I'm going to say P equals total pages. Define my variable. Now my equation has to be a subtraction equation. And it's going to equal the total of 90. Let's see. She had read 35 pages of her book. Minus 35 equals 93. So P, the total number of pages, minus 35 is 93. Any questions on my equation? Now, to get the answer, we are going to, our step is add 35. So how many pages were in the book? P equals 128. Now, if they wanted a check step, you would just say, does 128 minus 35 equal 93? Yes, it does. Any questions? All right, let's go on to problem number 7. In problem number 7, the difference between the high and low temperatures one day was 16 degrees Fahrenheit. The low was 31 degrees Fahrenheit. Write and solve a subtraction equation to find the high temperature. I'm going to use the variable H to represent high temperature. And it wants us to write a subtraction equation. Well, it says that the difference between the high and the low is 16. So there's my equation. High minus low equals a difference of 16. Now we can figure out what the high temperature is. What will undo subtracting 31? Add 31, add 31. H equals 47 degrees is the high temperature. Any questions? Okay, now let's do 8, 9, 10, and 11. I'm going to walk around the room to see how you are doing, and then we'll put the answers up. In number 8, to undo multiplying by 10, your step is going to be division, and we show division by drawing a bar. Divide by 10, divide by 10. Cancel. C equals 230 divided by 10 is 23. Now your check step. Does 10 times 23 equal 230? Yes, it does. Let's do another problem in number 9. This problem says 60 equals 5 times W. To undo multiplying by 5, divide both sides by 5. 60 divided by 5 is 12. 12 equals W. Let's do the check step. Does 60 equal 12 times 5? Yes, it does. Now let's do number 10. Let's see if you remember how to do these. I need to make 5, 6 disappear. And it says multiplying, but to divide fractions, what do you do when you divide fractions? You multiply by its reciprocal. Yes, so kids, put your parentheses on both sides. And what's the reciprocal of 5, 6? We're going to multiply both sides by 6 over 5. 6 over 5. Cancels out. You end up with x equals, now I'm going to simplify before I multiply. Divide both sides by 5. And you get 6/14. Now that will simplify. 2 divides 6 3 times. 2 divides 14 7. X equals 3/7. Now we're going to do our check step. Does 5 over 6 times x, which is 3 over 7, equal 5/14? Well, I'm going to simplify before I multiply. 3 divides 3 once, 3 divides 6 twice. You end up with 5/14, so that's a match. Yes, it does. Now let's look at number 11. In number 11, the problem says 27 equals y divided by 9. Class, what will undo dividing by 9? We're going to multiply by 9, multiply by 9. Now, 27 times 9, 3 carry a 6. 18 plus 6 is 243. 243 equals y. Let's check it. So, 243 goes in the box. 9 goes outside of it. 9 goes into 24 2 times. Subtract. Divide. 9 goes into 63 7 times. So, yes, it does. My check step works. 27 equals 243 divided by 9. Any questions on this? I don't think you'll have any that hard like number 11 on your test. Okay, let's go to the back. We have some more problems. Take the pass. Like this. In number 12, it's over there. This says 12 equals b divided by 4. To undo dividing by 4, we're going to, class, multiply, and you show multiplication with a parenthesis. 12 times 4, 48. Shh, quiet please. 48 equals b. Now, for the check step, does 12 equal 48 divided by 4? Yes, it does. Now let's go on to number 13. This problem says x divided by 5 equals 25. What will undo dividing by 5? Multiply both sides by 5. That cancels. Bring down your equal sign. X equals 5 times 25. If you have 5 quarters, you have 125 cents. It equals 125. Check step. Does 125 divided by 5, we don't need the sound effects, equal 25? Yes, it does. That is our answer. In problem number 14, we have to undo multiplying by 7. Then, to show your step, you draw the bar and you divide both sides by 7. X equals, I'm going to show my division over here, 21.7 divided by 7. Put your decimal point straight up. How many 7s are in a 21? 3. Subtract, bring down. How many 7s are in a 7? 1. So we end up with x equals 3 1/10. Check step. Does 7 times 3.1 equal 21.7? Yes, it does. Number 5. This problem says 23 equals r divided by 3. Jeremiah, what will undo dividing by 3?
Multiplication.
Yes. So, and we show multiplication with parentheses. Nice job. 23 times 3 is 69, and that will equal r. Circle your answer. Would you take her out in the hallway, please? I am making a recording of this. Now, let's continue. For the check step, does 69 divided by 3 equal 23? 3 goes into 6 2 times. Subtract, bring down. 3 will go into 9 3 times. Yes, it does. It checks out. 23 equals 69 divided by 3. Are there any questions? All right, now we have 4 more word problems. Your test has about 6 or 7 word problems on it. So let's continue. On your test again, you get a point for defining the variable, your equation, your step. It might say work on the test, and an answer. So let's look at number 16. Grandma spent $36 on cards for her grandchildren. Each card cost $1.50. Write and solve an equation to find how many cards she bought. Okay, I'm going to use C. C represents cards. That's worth a point, defining your variable. Now you write an equation. Well, they're $1.50 times the cards equals $36. So my $1.50 times C equals $36. Now it's easy. To get the answer, you're going to undo multiplication by dividing by $1.50. How many $1.50s are in 36? 36 divided by $1.50. 1, 2, 1, 2. It'll go into that 2 times. Subtract. Bring down. How many 150s are in 600? 4. Carry a 2. So the answer is she bought 24 cards. Any questions on how to get the answer to this? Am I going too fast? Okay, number 17. There were 200 students that participated in the band. This is 1/4 of the entire student population. Write and solve an equation to find the number of students at this school. So T equals total students at school. Total students at the school. All right, so T, there were 200 students, then that's 1/4. Now, 1/4 T, what's another way of writing 1/4 T? T over 4. Or you could write it as T over 4. Either one of those ways would be counted right on your test, okay? So, and it equals 1/4 of this total is 200, equals 200. So I'm going to write it this way. So T divided by 4 equals 200. What will undo dividing by 4? So you're going to multiply both sides by 4, and the answer is T equals, there were 800 students at the school. And this is my step right there. I just put my step up in that one as opposed to copying it again. Now let's go to number 18. Jane needs to go to the airport. It takes her 90 minutes to get there by car. This is 2 times the time it takes by direct bus. Write and solve an equation to find how long it takes Jane to get to the airport by direct bus. Okay. All right. What do we need to find? The time for the bus. So I'm going to put B equals the direct bus, or the bus time. Okay? My equation. 90 minutes by car, that's 2 times the direct bus. So 2 times the bus equals 90, because it's going to be faster to go by direct bus. Direct bus must be this special bus that doesn't have to stop at lights or something. It might like have its own little special route where it doesn't have to be by cars. I don't know. Now, to undo multiplying by 2, we are going to divide both sides by 2. That's my step. So if you are writing the direct bus, what's 90 divided by 2? 45. It's going to take 45 minutes to write it by direct bus. Any questions? All right, let's go on to number 19. Tim printed pictures for a project. The pictures cost 22 cents each. How many pictures did Tim print if he spent $7.70 in all? We want to know pictures. So I'm going to say P equals pictures. My equation. How much do the pictures cost? 22 cents each, and they spent $7.70. So 0.22 times P equals $7.70. That's my equation. Now we have to figure out how many pictures that is. What will undo multiplying? Dividing by 0.22. Divide by 0.22. So let's do that. $7.70 divided by 0.22. move it 2, move it 2. It'll go into that 3 times. That's 66. Subtract. It'll go into that 5 times. So how many pictures did she print? She printed 35 pictures. Any questions? Now, kids, you'll want to keep this worksheet because I have another review worksheet for you to do today, and it matches this one very similarly. The numbers are different. Sometimes instead of a plus sign, it'll have a subtraction sign, but that is what we're going to do to help us get ready for the test tomorrow.